Good evening and welcome back once again for another beer review. Tonight we've got something by the Establishment Brewing Company. I know there's been a lot from the Establishment Brewing Company lately, but they've made some fabulous beers. This one I almost didn't pick up because it's not quite something that I gravitate to. It's called Liquid Light. And it's an Imperial West Coast IPA, coming in at 8.3% alcohol by volume. So the ABV's there. It is an Imperial, but I'm not a big fan of the West Coast IPA style. It's got more bitterness than it does juiciness, usually. We'll see if this is a little bit different. And it contains barley. Whatever else is in there, I don't know. This was canned July 29th, 2024. It is now the 31st today, meaning that this is only a couple days old. Again, I like grabbing these beers from them. I'll give it that much. All right, what we've got here is a partially cloudy beer, but not really. Lots of light coming through there, obviously. You have almost a finger worth of head there. We know where that goes. We're going to class it as a finger's worth of head on there. We know that where that goes, and also it goes to. You know what? No, he doesn't deserve that. That was one of those days today. Anyways, we're going to continue on here. So yeah, again, a little cloudy, head's dissipating really quickly. The smell, don't we have a little bit of that juicy note? A little bit of a fruit back note. All right, okay. Well, let's get into this. Cheers. Wow. That flavor profile is a lot different than what I would expect out of the looks of it. You look at something like this, you think lager. You think something light, crispy, refreshing. No. You get a little bit of a bitterness on there. You get that sort of fruity, juicy notes. And you get a little bit of an alcohol bitter note on there as well. No burning down the esophagus. But you do have that bitterness from the alcohol. It feels like an Imperial. It tastes like an Imperial. The mouthfeel is like a almost, borderline light to medium body. Weird, but it's true. It has more body than what you're expecting, just from the looks of it. The flavor it's there. It does dissipate really quickly though. Except for that bitterness. The bitterness stays on there a little bit longer. That's a tricky one. That is a really tricky one. Because the look is completely different than what you would have for the flavor. The smell is not really something that is there, but the flavor is bold. The mouthfeel is bold. Oh, wow. Wow. You know what? I don't mind that. The bitterness kind of throws me off a little bit. That alcohol bitterness throws me off a little bit because it does have that sort of imperial punch to it. It does have that high ABV punch on the back end of it. You know, a little bit ago, I had that barrel-aged Phillips beer, the Blue Buck, that had the same sort of color to it, but didn't have that flavor, didn't have the robusticity or anything else like that. This is what I was expecting out of like the mouthfeel. This is what I was expecting out of the flavor, kind of, because it was a barrel aged, so it was a little different than what this was. I like that. I like that a lot. That teases the senses a little bit more than what I was expecting. All right. So, my score for this, out of 10, aside from that bitterness, it is absolutely what it's supposed to be. It is a Imperial West Coast IPA that's got this small tinge of a sweetness, a fruity note, but it has that bitterness of the alcohol and of the hops. The hops kind of lose a little bit of the flavor though. Okay, the hops lose a little bit of flavor because of that high ABV. But it's good. It's interesting in a good way. Would I have multiple of these in one night? Probably not. You know, I'm thinking about this more and more. I'm tasting it more and more. The West Coast IPA is a little bit lost in there. I still really like it. It was going to get a high score, but there's something in the back of my mind going, whoa, hold on a second. It's still really good. It's a different style of beer. The West Coast should be a little bit more a drier finish, I guess would be a best way of putting it. Okay, my score. Forget this. My score is going to be 7.5 out of 10. It is an interesting beer. It's an interesting style, but with the alcohol bitterness on there, it kind of loses a little bit of that West Coast style, in my opinion. It's still a good beer. Still a decent beer. Still has the punch that it needs to. That mouthfeel is something else. But it's just missing a little bit of that West Coast feeling. So tell me, have you had this one before? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Again, from the Establishment Brewing Company, we're looking at Liquid Light. It's an Imperial West Coast IPA coming in at 8.3% alcohol by volume. Till next time, I'm Dan, aka the Western Canadian Reviewer, saying cheers, stay frosty. We'll see you real soon. Thanks again for joining. Have yourselves a wonderful and safe evening, and be careful out there. This is one of those ones that would sneak up on you if you're drinking on a hot day. Definitely would. Cheers, everybody. Have a great night.